Good morning. The June 3rd, 2025 Commission meeting of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners will come to order. Welcome, citizens of Douglas County. County Clerk, please take the roll for the record.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner District 1, Henry Mitchell.
Present.
Commissioner District 2, Whitney Kenner Jones is absent today. Commissioner District 3, Martin Raxton.
Present.
Commissioner District 4, Vice Chair Mark Alcaraz.
Present.
Chairman Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones.
Present. Thank you so much, Clerk. We are pleased to have with us this morning Alan Clayton with us to lead us in our invocation. And please, I ask you to stand for the invocation. And after the invocation, please join us for the pledge to the flag. Thank you so much, Clayton.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you, first of all, for the day that you've given us. Lord, what a beautiful day it is. It is a day that you have made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Lord, we look back over the days and we realize that, Lord, we live in an ever-changing world. But, Lord, we're glad to know that one thing never changes, and that is you. You're the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And, Lord, that we look to you again this morning for guidance and for direction, Lord, as things do change. And, Lord, for those that are in charge, Lord, of making those changes, Lord, I pray that you'd forever guide them, walk with them, order the very steps that they will take. Lord, thank you for our community that you blessed us with. And, Lord, for the citizens of this community, Lord, I pray that you'd have your hand upon them. Lord, I pray that you'd always watch over our families and care for them. Lord, we thank you for the way that you've done that. And, Lord, in this meeting today, for the decisions that will be made, Lord, I pray that you'd give wisdom, Lord, to those that need it. And Lord, I pray that you just again be with us today in this meeting, be with us through this day, continue to have your hand upon our community. Lord, thank you for allowing us to be a part. Now bless this meeting, this day. We'll praise you. We'll thank you for all that you do and for who you are. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Pastor Clayton, for rendering such an amazing prayer over our county this morning. And we just appreciate your contribution to Douglas County. Board of Commissioners, Madam Clerk, did we have anyone sign up for public comment today?
Yes, ma'am, we had one individual.
Okay.
Before I call you up, I'll just remind you, you have 3 minutes to address the board. Once your 3 minutes are up, I'll ask you to complete your statement. And also restate your name and address for the record. Matt Furness?
Yes.
You can come up to the podium.
Yes, my name is Matthew Furness, and first time ever attending a meeting, so I'm sorry I'm new to this, and but I think I want to speak to the plat approvals for the in Hampton Mill subdivision. Is that appropriate at this time?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, I just looked at them today, and a couple things that really concern me. One is there's a connection to Central Church Road through there, which allows a cut through basically through that subdivision to get out to Dorset Shoals. And I live right next door in the subdivision next door, plantation at Dorset Shoals, and people cut through there all the time through our subdivision doing 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, running into brick mailboxes and so forth. We're really surprised someone hasn't gotten hurt. People run off the road into people's yards, knock down trees and so forth, and a lot of school traffic and other things, people trying to do cut-throughs. So I'm opposed to that, one, on the plats. Also, this is adding a lot of homes to this subdivision, and from what I understand reading the Unified Code, the recreation amenities do not fit. You're supposed to have for 201 or more houses, you're supposed to have a clubhouse of a minimum of 2,600 square feet, a swimming pool of 2,250 square foot, athletic courts, 2 of them for 1.5 acres each, and 2 1-acre active play areas. And this does not meet those requirements with this plat layout. So I guess that's all I have to say. So,
Okay.
and need to say my name again or anything?
No, you're good.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Mr. Furness, for coming in. We will take this matter under advisement. All right, we'll move on to the next item, Board of Commissioners, which is the agenda adoption. Commissioners, are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would ask that we pull items 14 and 15 off of the consent agenda and to move those under new business.
14 and 15, okay. Any other changes, Board? Okay. With those changes being said, would you like to call a motion?
I'd like to make a motion
Commissioner?
that we approve the agenda with the noted corrections or modifications, excuse me.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion, Board? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. A 4-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries with no opposition. Okay, we will move, so we have approved our agenda. Time limits, Board of Commissioners, please be mindful. We have 3 minutes to make remarks, and you, including me, have 2 minutes for rebuttal, okay? With that being said, we're going to move on to our next item, which is approval of the minutes. Board of Commissioners, on the next you have the...
Chairman, I'm sorry.
What did I...
I had added in presentations on your
Wow,
script there.
okay.
Sorry.
Blame it on my glasses. Thank you. All right, I see we have presentations, and I apologize for my oversight. Recognition of Douglas County resident. Chief Allen, are you? There you are. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair,
morning.
Commissioners, County Administration. It is a wonderful day here in Douglas County, and just want to let everybody know we are doing great things in the Douglas County Fire Department, EMS. But today, we want to recognize a citizen. So on February 10th, we received a message from personnel on scene asking if we could recognize Vilmer Ventura for his actions during a house fire that occurred on February 9th at 1:30 in the morning. Crews that were on scene stated the neighbors at 4633 who initially called in the fire and woke up the residents to notify them on their home being on fire. Had they not done this, the fire would have been in the attic and had possible entrapment before the residents would have even known that there was a fire. We would like to recognize and commend Vilmer Ventura for his swift and courageous actions in alerting neighbors to a house fire, potentially saving lives and preventing further tragedy. In a moment of crisis, Mr. Ventura did not hesitate to act, quickly notifying residents and ensuring everyone was aware of the danger. Crews that responded to the scene stated the neighbors of 4633 who initially called in the fire and woke up the residents to notify them of their home being on fire. Had they not done this, the fire would have been in an attic and possibly entrapped before the residents would have even known that there was a fire. For his bravery and commitment to safety of others, we would like to read and present this formal declaration of commendation.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Whereas, on February 9th, 2025, an emergency occurred at 4634 Remnants Way, Douglasville, Georgia, requiring immediate action to ensure the safety and well-being of a citizen in distress. Whereas, Vilmer Ventura, with extraordinary courage, composure, and selflessness, took decisive action to assist the affected individual by alerting emergency services and ensuring safe evacuation. Whereas the swift and heroic response of Vilma Ventura provided vital support prior to the arrival of professional first responders, significantly contributing to the preservation of life and safety. Whereas such acts of bravery and civic duty exemplify the highest ideals of community spirit, compassion, and responsibility, serving as an inspiration to all residents of Douglas County. Now, therefore, the Douglas County Fire EMS Department, under the authority of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners and Chief Dr. Miles Allen, does hereby proclaim and declare Vilma Ventura is officially recognized and commended for their outstanding actions during an emergency. Be it further resolved that this is a ceremonial declaration of commendation be presented to Vilma Ventura as a testament to his valor, service, and the heartfelt gratitude of the Douglas County Fire EMS Department and the community we serve. In witness whereof, the third day of June 2025, Dr. Miles Allen.
Wow, that's amazing. Especially our citizens are continuing to, when they see something, they're saying something, which is great, Chief. And I know that's one of your mottos. When our citizens see something, they need to say something, and they responded well. And it has resulted in accommodation to Vilma Ventura.
Yes, ma'am.
Are they here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you have them come, please? Let's give them come on down.
And Madam Chair, if I could be permitted, we would like to present him with the commendation and the challenge coin from the Douglas County Fire Department.
Oh, absolutely. Wow, our citizens are doing great things, and congratulations again, Mr. Ventura. With that being said, we have an, okay,
Ma'am,
all right.
just a quick note, our fire department and also our sheriff's office is hiring. We could use people like you in our county. Yield back.
Absolutely. Next, we have recognitions of our Douglas County employees. Our Chief Allen, I believe you're on here twice. No, you're on here once. We have our Chief of Staff, Tiffany Stewart Stanley. How are you doing?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Board of Commissioners, County Administrator, and all of our wonderful staff members and citizens. So today is a great day here at Douglas County because we are recognizing some of our amazing employees. And these are our employees who have achieved professional certifications, awards, completed educational and leadership programs, and these are for our employees today who work for the Board of Commissioners or County Administration. Through the Douglas County EDGE program, the county is ensuring that our employees have the training and resources needed to provide exceptional customer service to our citizens. The Douglas County Star Award is a new biannual initiative under the Douglas County EDGE program to recognize our employees who are investing time in their professional growth. Employee development is crucial for county governments as it enhances employee skills, knowledge, and performance, ultimately improving public service delivery and organizational effectiveness. So it is now my honor to present our June 2025 Douglas County Star Award recipients. So thank you, Mrs. Shauna Bai. And so as I call your name, if you will go up and receive your award and then just line up for us. So the first one is Mr. Brandon Davis, who was awarded the Al Richardson Athletic Award from the Georgia Recreation Parks Association. Next, we have Brianna Murphy, who is the Douglas County EMT of the Year. Followed by Cody Rowland, the Douglas County Firefighter of the Year. All right. Next, we have Elliot Buggs, who received his Certified Public Manager certification from the University of Georgia. Next, we have Mr. Eric Wright, who graduated from the Leadership Douglas and who's a member of the class of 2025. And he's not here with us today, so we are recognizing him anyway. Next, we have Mr. Gregory Spry, who received his landfill operator certification. After that, we have Mr. Hamid Kazamian, and he passed his Fundamentals of Engineering exam. This is the second biggest engineering exam you can pass and license you can get. So let's give him a round of applause. And then we have Heath Coward, who was a member of the Leadership Douglas class of 2025. And then next we have Mr. Justin McDermott, who received multiple transit safety certifications this year. Next is Ms. Julia Arai, who received the Lillian Williams Champion of Diversity Award from the University of West Georgia. She's not with us today, but we still wanted to honor her. Next, we have Dr. Consuela Gilchrist, who was a member of the Leadership Douglas class of 2025. Next, we have someone, she has done 3 things this year. Ms. Madison Krilla, who is a Georgia Forward Young Game Changer Leadership Program attendee. She's also a member of the class of 2025 Leadership Douglas, as well as she received her International Festival and Events Association and National Recreation and Parks Association Event Management School. She graduated from that program. So she's a triple threat today. Next, we have Ms. Miki Samuels, who got a certification in professional and academic proposal writing from Thompson Rivers University. All right. Next is Ms. Michelle Smith, who was designated a Modern Woodsman Volunteer VIP. Next is Sharon Jackson, Leadership Douglas class of 2025. Next is our wonderful Deputy Clerk, Sherry Mathis, who received her County Clerk certification from the Carl Vinson Institute of Government from the University of Georgia. Next is Stacy Farmer, who is a member of the Executive Fire Officer Program National Academy. She's a graduate of that. Thank you, that's amazing. All right. Next is Mr. Stephen Thompson, who received his Emergency Vehicle Technician certification. All right. Thank you. Next is Ms. Tammy Cochran, who also received an International Festival and Events Association and National Recreation Parks Association Event Management School certification. And then we have Mr. Timothy Van Johnson Jr., who received a Master's of Integrated Wellness from the University of West Georgia. Then we have Ms. Wendy Cottle, who was also a member of the Leadership Douglas class of 2025. She's not here with us today, but we wanted to honor her as well. And last but certainly not least, Ms. Yvette Jones, who is a member of the National Certified Public Communicators Program certification track for 2025. Yvette Jones. Oh, I'm sorry. And definitely last and definitely not least, I don't know how, is Suleiman Rana, who was named 40 under 40 for the engineering record for the whole Southeast region. So that's amazing. So I just want to congratulate you all. You know, I want to say thank you to all of you all for taking the time to invest into yourselves. It will go a long way in your careers. I also want to thank Dr. David Corbin for championing this initiative. We are so appreciative of you for that. But most of all, on behalf of everybody, I want to thank the Board of Commissioners. It is amazing to work in a place where the culture of professional growth and development is the norm and is celebrated. So we want to thank you because it is exceptional to be in a place where that is the norm. So thank you all so much, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Wow. If you just remain standing, the board will come down and take a photograph. And Mr. Ventura, if you could just hold on, and we'll want to take a photograph with you as well. Board, are we ready?
I am so sorry. Y'all,
You forgot
I cannot
me?
see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
These glasses are not as good. I need some new ones. I am so sorry, Mr. McLaughlin, because you received your landfill operator certification. So let's give Mr. McLaughlin. I'm so sorry. All right, so that's the end. Thank you so much, Mr. McLaughlin. You can go right there.
Take this out, I'm so sorry.
Congratulations.
All right, board, we'll step down, or how do you, tell us what to do. Wow, it is just so amazing and wonderful to recognize our employees and also our wonderful citizens and residents of this county who are doing great things. Board of Commissioners, certainly we will move to our next item, which would be, we have, then we'll move into the approval of the minutes. I'll try that one more time. Is that fair, Clerk? Madam
Yes,
Clerk?
ma'am.
All right. Next on our agenda, we have the approval of the minutes board. You have the minutes of the commission meeting of May 20, 2025, work session minutes of May 19, 2025, and the executive session minutes of May 19, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve, board?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your electronic votes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay. We have a full unanimous vote, board, and the motion carries. Public hearing, we have a public hearing this morning to initiate consideration of a development impact fee ordinance, including the purpose and process for developing a capital improvement element, the steps to be followed in preparation of the CIE, which is, again, the capital improvement element, and to elicit community input on needs and goals. Thank you so much this morning. Our Planning and Zoning Manager, Allison Duncan.
All right.
You
Good morning,
have the
Madam
floor.
Chair.
Good morning.
Board of Commissioners, thank you. I will be brief. As you know, we are under contract with the consultant team Ross & Associates to help deliver an impact fee ordinance for your consideration. We anticipate having that in front of you in about 8 months, but for right now, we need to take the steps prescribed under state law to formally open that process. So I have a few slides just to share with you to make sure that we're compliant with all elements of the state law. The purpose of this public hearing is to let the community know that we are undertaking an impact fee ordinance. There is a scope of services. We'll make sure that we have all of that information on the website, but as I said, we anticipate this being about an 8 to 12 month process altogether, and then an ordinance would have to be approved by the Board of Commissioners once all of the work is done. And so we will follow the prescribed outline in the state law in terms of the process for developing our impact fee program. As always, everything that we do in the planning department is open and transparent to the community, so we will make sure that we have dates of upcoming meetings published on our website. We encourage public participation. We do have a advisory committee that is being formed as a result of this effort, and so anybody who has questions about any of that can certainly reach out to me, and we'd be more than happy to let them know that the dates of the upcoming meetings once that advisory committee is appointed. So the purpose of the scope of the study is to address the potential to collect one-time impact fee from new development. So this would be a one-time fee that would be charged to help pay for additional public facilities needed to serve future growth and development in Douglas County. This is governed by what is casually known as DEFA, or the Development Impact Fee Act, and so under that act, it is very clear that we cannot charge more than the fair proportionate share of cost for public facilities. And so that's why we're working with the consultant team of Ross & Associates to help us determine the correct methodology to result in that impact fee. The types of facilities that can be used for impact fees, including parks, open space, and recreation. We can use library impact fees to support our library services. Public safety facilities, including the sheriff and jail, fire, EMS, E911, and animal control. And then finally, roads, streets, and bridges can be used. Impact fees can be used to support those services. So we're going to be collecting a lot of information from our peers. I want to thank everybody in all of the departments that we've already reached out to for providing us the information needed in such a timely way. We've been looking at things like our current acreage of parks in the county, our recreation components in those parks. We've been looking at library facilities, overall building area for various county facilities, looking at communications towers, heavy vehicles, and capacity adding road projects are all eligible public facilities for consideration of using impact fees. So here we are, kind of at the beginning of the study. We are going to need to develop a capital improvements element. As a part of this, that capital improvements element is going to be a publicly available document that has to be updated in connection with our comprehensive plan. The capital improvements element will identify those fees that are eligible, those services that are eligible for using the impact fees. As I said, we will end up drafting an ordinance. That ordinance would have to be approved by the Board of Commissioners before we can actually move forward with collecting impact fees. And so here is an overview of our schedule. Like I said, we're right at the beginning. We've done some initial data collection, and we've reached out to some members to ask them to serve on our Impact Fee Advisory Committee. We will have a space on the county's website on the Planning and Zoning page where we keep the public informed of all of this information. And otherwise, that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. And again, this is a public hearing, as is required with state law, so we would need to have an opportunity for the community to share any thoughts or comments that they may have. But thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Manager Duncan. Board of Commissioners, do you have any questions before I open the public hearing? Okay, thank you. Citizens of Douglas County, and just wanted to acknowledge that our public hearing is now open. Certainly would invite those who would like to speak on behalf of this public hearing. Please come forward. Okay. Do we have anyone here that's against what's being proposed in this public hearing? Oh, come forward, please. And please state your name and give us your address, and you have 3 minutes.
Terry Davis, 3665 Riverwood Way, Douglasville. So regarding the impact fee, just for clarity, who will be paying for this? Will it be the developers of the new construction, or?
Okay, we'll answer the question.
Sure. Thank you for that question. In regard to who pays for impact fees, this would be a fee assessed on new construction primarily. We would be looking at the specific methodology as we would be going forward throughout the study to return the recommendation to the Board of Commissioners. But this would be a fee assessed at the time of issuance of a building permit, primarily for new construction of both residential and commercial facilities. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Just as a concerned citizen, I do have a problem with all of the new construction that's been approved, due to the neighborhood surrounding the schools. The schools are overcrowded. EMS, they're hiring. I'm sure there's a long list of open positions with the sheriff's office. It's just a lot that's going on. I really think you guys should consider, maybe halting a lot of this that's going on. It's ridiculous. The infrastructure is a mess, So that's all.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. All right, okay. So this public hearing, if we have anyone else that's opposed?
I don't oppose, I just don't have a question.
Okay, come on down. Mr. Furness, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. I just had a question. Why are schools not included in this, and school buses, and for expanding schools and so forth?
Sure, that's a great question and one that we get often. We can only assess impact fees for purposes of supporting the facilities that the state law gives permission for us to use, and so those were those facilities that I had outlined previously. Schools are specifically not allowed to charge impact fees under the Development Impact Fee Act, so that is why we don't have them on the list.
Okay. Any other opposition? Okay, if there's none, this public hearing is now closed. Board of Commissioners, do you have any comments or concerns before I call the motion? Okay. All right. That being said, Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion?
Chairman, we don't need a motion.
We don't
for
need to,
this.
this is just general, okay, sounds good, okay. It's just a hearing, thank you. All right. With that being said, we will move on to our consent agenda, but we have 2 items that have been pulled off. So,
Correct.
Madam Clerk, if you
Okay.
just read those items.
Yes, ma'am. We move to new business items. I'm going to just read them together. Number 14 and 15 is preliminary plat approval for Hampton Mill Unit 2, Phase 2 for a 41 single-unit family detached development, and a preliminary plat approval for Hampton Mill Unit 2, Phase 1B for a 49-unit single-family detached development.
Okay. You have the floor, Austin.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. I also have the PowerPoints ready to go if you have any discussion items or anything.
Okay. I believe Commissioner Raxton You have the floor.
All right, thank you,
Believe
ma'am.
have some questions.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. So again, no, yesterday we had talked about 30% of the units being 2,500 square feet or larger and 70% of the units being 2,900 square feet or larger. I just want to ensure that we noted that from yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Secondly, in regards to the homeowner association, they have invited the builders to be a part of the current homeowners association. So that would be something that I would like to see take place, where it's one homeowners association for this particular new phases, phase 2 and 1B, as part of the current homeowners association.
Yes, sir. We can add that as a condition, and Mr. Gerald Van Sant with the development team is here as well
Okay.
to speak on possibility of that as well. But we can add that as a condition for preliminary or final plat approval on this preliminary plat as well.
Okay. And then also, I know we talked about the deceleration lane yesterday. I know that was came up. I just want to see, was there any further discussion about that yesterday after the work session? And if so, where do we stand with that?
So we have Suleiman Rana here from DOT, I believe. Oh, he's approaching, so I'll defer to Suleiman.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Mr. Joe Fowler and I did play phone tag, but the conclusion was DOT's recommendation remains unchanged. Per one of the traffic studies that was submitted by the developer, recommends or warrants a deceleration lane for northbound, which is on Shelby. So therefore, we think it's warranted. Now, the definition of what that may look like, depending on any infeasibility that they may provide in documentation, I think would be a decision made at a later time through our technical reviews at departmental level. So therefore, as of right now, we recommend leaving the condition as is.
Okay.
Thank you.
But it's still going to go for review, though?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility that it may not come to fruition based on, from what I understand, it's a pretty small area there. And will we have to do any type of eminent domain?
Sir, I don't think they would be eligible for eminent domain.
Okay.
But what we're looking at is we have a county code that defines a deceleration lane, 150 foot of storage with some taper. If they have some real infeasibility, we do have some generous amount of public right-of-way and would have to work out what fits while also meeting the criteria as close as possible. And that's something that we'll have to define at a later stage.
Okay. All right, point. Okay, thank you. All right, Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay. Any other concerns? Vice Chair Alvarez, you have the floor. Thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner Braxton.
I think we were, my fellow commissioner meant to say the acceleration lane, the right-hand turn, the acceleration lane coming out that was proposed.
Right.
Did you guys work that out, or is this still going to be something that you're going to require from the developer?
Yes, sir. Our recommendation or the requirement stands. As far as working it out, that would require additional documentation backup by the developer, officially recommending or providing their infeasibility study on why full county mandated or standard deceleration cannot be installed. To date, we don't have that. So given that we don't have any formal request to waive any of the requirements, we're unable to provide any exceptions as of right now, but that may change after a formal submission is done by the developer.
So, but you're still going to request that they purchase the land from the property owner in front of them, or try to purchase that property. But what's going to happen if that property owner says no?
So if they say no, that would become an infeasibility. They will document their fair attempts to acquire that right-of-way to accommodate county standards. They'll submit that infeasibility to the department for review. Once we evaluate if a fair attempt was made at acquisition, it failed, and now right-of-way is what we've got to work with. At that time, we'll see what we can fit in the given right-of-way for that deceleration lane. It's just too early for us to grant the variance even before the whole process has started.
Okay, I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vice Chair Alvarez. Commissioner Mitchell?
Well, I think Commissioner Braxton had a couple other things before. He might even answer my question, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I'll yield.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell. One other question I did have, and this was in regards to the comment brought up by Mr. Furness related to the amenities based on the number of units, and just want to see, are we in compliance with our code there?
Yes, sir. Since this is two different phases, we considered it as two separate developments still in continuation of the Hampton Mill subdivision. So they've had to comply with all the amenity requirements. The phase 1B has 49 units. So the amenities are 1 to 50. You have to install an active play area, which is 1 acre minimum. So they've done that on the plat here, it's towards the middle, as well as a mail kiosk, which they've indicated on the plat. On phase 2, they've also provided an active play area as well as a mail kiosk, and they have 41 units on that phase.
I see. Okay. All righty. I guess that's my time is up. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for
Yes, sir.
the feedback. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay. No other questions, board?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Commissioner Mitchell, you have the floor.
He didn't get to my question, so let's, Austin, if you would, please. So the HOA, just want to be clear that the client, well, this HOA splitting or a part of or not a part of, so the newer development is not a part of the old HOA because from my understanding, they're going to be two separate entities, correct?
So the desire to join into the covenants, that's still up in the air. With the preliminary plat, it's more of like the lots on paper, but with the final plat, with all the construction drawings done, they'll have to provide their covenant documents, which will clearly define if they're within the existing or their own separate HOA. Mr. Van Zant has indicated that he's amenable to joining that HOA. He would just need an invitation. So the feedback provided is that the existing HOA would be amenable to having these phases join in.
Right, because if they do join, then they're part of the costs as well, correct?
Yes, sir. They would have to define their common area management schedules and everything.
Would it be the common areas for the new development only, or the common area for both the new and the old, the existing?
Yes.
So and the reason I'm asking this is because I think it needs to be clear, because the new property build out, if we're gonna make this a condition, needs to be a part of it from day one and not make it optional, I guess. So it's gotta be kind of clear, at least I want it to be clear. So that way the client doing the new development would understand that anything they build will be or will not be part of the HOA, which I don't have a dog in the fight, but I think we need to make sure that we're clear and that the client is clear going in, because, I mean, the current HOA may not want the new development a part of that HOA setup, and if they are and they do, then it needs to be clear that that will be a part of, and that will be assessed to their property as a part of being a part of that HOA. And it looks like, I think, Commissioner Raxton, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I was going to say that I have, and we've been in discussions with the HOA, and they are amenable, and they do want this new phase to be a part of their current HOA, and they are inviting them to be part of it from day one.
And so I guess then that needs to be, I guess, stated and a part of,
right.
and the applicant needs to say, I agree, and I will make this not a, oh, it'll be a part of, it'll be a condition, meaning that I agree upon, because if you don't, then it's optional with the HOA setup for the new development to say if I'm opting in or opting out. So I'm just wanting clarity, so when we move forward with this, it's clear that the applicant is clear that when I build these 96, I think it is, that they're part of the HOA, not that just they're being invited. It needs to be clearly stated.
Okay, yes, sir. So we can have that condition.
And I guess I will also add, though, not to cut you off there, but I think I would probably want to hear from the client, you know, or looks like Allison, you want to add something? Oh, I think I would probably want to hear from the client too, to make sure that he's okay with this structure being built out like that. So can I hear from him first, and then I'll let you kind of comment.
I'm Gerald Van Zant. I'm representing both of the subdivisions.
Okay.
And to address what Commissioner Raxton just said about the existing HOA has invited us to join them.
Right.
This is the first I have heard when he said it just then. So
See.
I had no idea that they were going to invite us, okay?
Good. See.
So
that's why we're having this conversation. This is
that's
good.
right.
Yes.
So if I was to join into their existing HOA, that would give us the opportunity to eliminate the HOA issues in our two subdivisions,
Okay,
because I'm the one that actually built the HOA back in 2008. I developed that whole subdivision. I built the amenity package, the swimming pool, the tennis courts, and all of that. The subdivision was approved for 277 lots at that time. And the amenity package was designed to take care of the whole subdivision.
got it.
So if we were invited to join, which it shocked me
Right.
just then,
Okay,
that would eliminate the need
Need.
for any additional
I would agree.
HOA in our subdivision.
In the newer, in the new one that you're building.
That's
Right,
correct.
Right.
So that the two play areas that we have would not even be needed because the HOA was designed in the original for the 277 lots.
I clearly understand.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
yes.
So it's a decision, if they want to formally invite us to do that, apparently they have formally invited us through you, sir.
So I've gotten information that they would like to invite you, so the formality, that will come from the HOA, but I am aware that they would like to be inclusive.
Okay. Well, that's something I'll have to discuss with the other owner of the, I represent basically the 49 lots.
Right.
And the other owner, he's not here, that
Right.
represents the 41 lots. So the two of us will have to get together and discuss and,
To make sure that you want to take on their invitation, because you may not want to take the invitation because of, don't know, I don't want to make up stuff, but it could be something that's,
it could be.
Yeah.
It could be something that's, it's good for us, you know?
it could be something great, yes.
It could
yes,
be.
Yeah,
We had, years ago, we had tried to do a little bit of development, and we had a lot of backlash from the HOA. They didn't want us in there.
understood.
See, so that's the reason that we are proposing to have our own HOA.
Understood.
Was because we had some backlash years ago. So now that we got a different atmosphere, we got to make a new decision.
I would agree.
And I think it probably might be a good thing, because
Right.
everybody can work together.
And
So,
Mr. Van Zandt, I think it would be a great idea. However, I think that's why I want to bring this up for discussion, because I felt like it wasn't clear even yesterday. So, and if there is something that we need to do as a board, then we need to kind of either figure this out or make it a part of the conditions or not. But let me let Allison, I think Allison's got something to add to this, though.
Well, so
Yeah.
I just,
Okay.
sorry, thank you. I do want to make sure that we're clear.
Okay.
On the conditions,
Okay.
right? So what I put on the screen, the 4 conditions that we talked through yesterday, and I think if we understand the direction of the board, the staff would like to request that it's approved with these conditions. And I'm also going to kind of look at county attorney to make sure that for this question about the HOA, a 5th condition would be if approved by the existing Hampton Mill Homeowners Association, there would be one homeowners association for all phases that is a part of the current homeowners association, because I believe, my guess is the homeowners association is probably some sort of a nonprofit organization. I don't think we as the board can tell them who to let into their homeowners association, which is why I think we're going to need that disclaimer that the current homeowners association would have to approve to allow these new phases to come in, but we can kind of state that as a condition that if approved by the existing homeowners association, this is the direction we'll move in, or if I could get some
You're right
comment.
about it being a nonprofit corporation that has to file with the Secretary of State.
Right.
I think that you may want to add if approved by the parties, right?
That's correct,
So
yes.
both the current and the new one, because you want the new phase to have a homeowners association, whether they're a part of the current one or not, they would likely need to have one. So if
Correct.
both parties, both homeowners associations agree, then there can be one. So I would
Okay.
just amend that condition number 5 to make it where both would need to agree.
Okay, understood. Thank you for clarifying that. It is going to be a requirement under our code that a homeowners association does have to exist for the other phase, and so we understand it's the direction that if both parties can agree, that there will be the one for all phases. If not, we will continue with the separate
right.
amenities. Is that,
I would agree.
Yes, sir.
are we okay with that?
That's fair.
Okay.
We'll let both parties.
Absolutely.
I have another comment also,
Sure.
if I could,
Go ahead.
concerning this same thing, which if they invite us into their existing homeowners association,
Mm-hmm.
we would fall under the guidelines of their HOA documents. And according to their documents,
But that will be only if you accept, though, but go ahead.
Pardon?
That would be only if you accept.
that's correct.
Okay, but go ahead,
If,
though.
if I were to accept their invitation.
That's correct.
I would fall under the jurisdiction of and control of the existing HOA. Okay?
Correct. Okay.
Their existing HOA is recorded in the courthouse here, and in plat book, or deed book 290-2955, page 833, their conditions are a minimum of 2,500 square feet. And it does not have an escalation clause going to 29. So if we're joined into them, I would accept that invitation to also include, we would be under their jurisdiction and rules according to their recorded documents. And that takes out the number
29.
one issue of the expansion.
Right. Okay, let me let Allison kind of join in and chime in here, so.
Sorry, respectfully, the staff would ask that the condition stay in place.
Right.
Because, as you know, the county cannot enforce covenants, right?
Right.
So if it is the will of the board to have the condition as presented, we would need to have that as a condition of approval from the board on the plat. Therefore, we could use our county authority to enforce it, as opposed to something that is a covenant is not enforceable by the county in any way. Thank you.
Mr. Van Zant?
I don't know exactly what she said there, but apparently, if you can explain to me what she said, I'll try to rebuttal if I need to, but,
We can't enforce a covenant. We can only enforce.
Can you come to the mic, Allison? Allison, can you come to the podium, sorry. Go to the podium.
Sorry.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can only use our authority to enforce the laws of the county. We
Correct.
cannot use our authority to enforce private property agreements. A covenant is a private property agreement. So therefore, the stipulation that it would have to be 2,500 square feet under the covenant is not something I can enforce. I can only enforce whatever would be put on the plat as a condition of approval by the Board of Commissioners. So I do hope that they can work everything out to be one HOA, but if it's the will of the board to make sure that we enforce the 2,500 and the 2,900 square foot requirement that we've been discussing, it would need to be a condition of approval so that we
Right.
could enforce it.
So, Mr. Van Zant, you understand now?
I understand.
Okay,
And I would
okay.
request that you entertain a motion to modify item number 1 to 2,500 square feet across the board. If that, and only the reason, one of the big reasons that we're only agreeing to this is my property is zoned and approved for 1,800 square
Right,
feet
right.
homes.
Right.
We are making it's a burden to go from one market to another market. We go to 2,500 square feet, that's a market. You go to 2,900 square feet, that's a totally different market. And the market nowadays, people can't afford some of these $600,000 and $700,000 homes. It might happen if you go to the bigger square foot.
I understand. So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we can kind of move this along. And I think staff is recommending to leave things as is, to add the additional, the fifth one that deals with the HOA, which, let me back up. So you'll have the option to say opt out. If you opt in, that part, based on staff saying it wouldn't change. So you'll be one HOA.
Right.
And legal, please listen to me, make sure I don't go off track here. So you wouldn't go off track. However, if you decide not to be a part of it, if you decide to be a part of the HOA, the existing HOA, then that modification won't happen because these will be the rules of the play by, what we got, which will be up to 29.
If we do not decide
Right.
to go with the existing HOA.
Right. If you decide to go with them, these are the rules to play.
Yeah, the conditions won't
Right,
change.
change, right.
If they're one or two
Two,
HOAs.
right. Yeah, see, the only thing will change if you decide to make one HOA. That would eliminate, and correct me if I'm wrong, Allison, and legal, the space that you've got for, in your subdivision that addresses common ground, a common use. Outside of that, that's the only thing that would change if you decide to become one. There will be no need because the amenity package will be with the existing HOA.
Okay.
But you got to agree to accept their invite.
Right.
But it wouldn't change the build out though, of 25 to 29. That wouldn't change.
One other comment I've got is.
I hope I didn't confuse you though.
I know, it's got a little bit confusing here. But one other comment is, we did meet with the existing HOA. Commissioner Raxton, he requested a meeting with the HOA, and we did meet. We had a discussion. We had the president of the homeowners association present. The owners were present. We had planning and zoning here, Austin. He was with us, and there was a lot of discussion, and the existing HOA president, he was real concerned, and he says, I do not want anything less than 2,600 square feet
Okay.
house.
Okay.
So we left that meeting, and that was on May the 14th, Wednesday, May the 14th at 9 o'clock. And so I kept waiting to hear from someone. So at that point, I asked Joe Fowler to sort of intervene, and he had talked with Allison. And I told Joe that I'm in agreement to go with 2,500 square feet, you know, to satisfy what, you know, that's within 100 square feet of what the president was requesting. So that's where I'm coming from. The president of the homeowners association was requesting 2,600. He didn't say anything about an escalation or anything.
29, right, okay.
And the only time I heard about an escalation was Friday night. I got an email from planning and zoning,
Okay.
and I get to read what's up here now.
Got it.
And I had 3 days to even think about it. So I'm here today, you know, trying to untangle this web, sir, and
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen. So that's where we are. I just know what was presented to me, and these other things keep popping up, and like Friday and then here today. And I'm trying to react to things that, you know, so anyway.
Now let me also add, if you need more time to make sure, because from my understanding, there are 2 developers.
There is, yes,
Okay,
sir.
and so you can't make that final decision because you can't speak for the other developer. However, if we need more time, then I think we should request just that so you guys can make sure we figure this out, unless this is time sensitive that it has to happen today.
It doesn't have to happen. I mean,
Now,
I'm just happy to hear that there's some
dialogue.
movement, you
Yes,
know.
yes,
We
yes.
haven't had any movement in
So-
2 weeks or so, and here it all happens in 2 days.
I got it. Listen, you know, government moves slow, but when it moves, it moves. So, but with that,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
If you could give us an extension maybe to the next meeting, we can work out all of these issues.
So-
and
so
by
Allison,
then,
it-
we'll know if we want to join the existing HOA.
right.
And
And I think legal would probably agree with me. I think that's probably what needs to happen here, because we can't do this on the floor and just fly by just doing that, or help me out with that.
Legal thinks that the staff has evaluated the preliminary plats and has made recommendations to you based on the code.
Okay.
I think staff has also presented an additional condition
Okay.
that would take care of the HOA issue, which does not require additional time. I
Okay.
think that the decision of this board is to determine whether you're going to take your recommendation of your staff or some meeting with an HOA president on what size houses he should build.
Understood. Okay, got it. Okay. Mr. Van Zandt, I mean, now, I don't want to put you on the spot, though, but I'm just listening.
So, you're asking me now if I will accept the
Conditions.
invitation to the HOA?
Well, how could we make that subject
not
to?
the question.
Okay, right. Yeah, so, but I think I know where he's going with this, though. He's trying,
Commissioner.
because he can't.
Yeah, let's wrap.
Okay, so
Okay.
he's trying to just make clear of that HOA, which, because he can't make the decision for the other developer.
So
He-
the condition
Okay.
that staff just said to you guys, that would be number 5, if you so accept it,
Right.
is that the parties would have to agree. So that's not something that the board needs to get involved in.
Got it.
The only thing is
Okay. So-
you require an HOA. That's a given. He's got to have one.
Understood.
Whether it's with the first guy or his own.
I got you.
We're just saying that if they want to join together,
Right.
they have to agree to do so.
So, Mr. Van Zandt, so that fifth condition only gives you the option to say yes to the invite, you and the other developer, or no?
Or no? So we have a yes or no. We can either join or stay and keep our, and
That's
create
correct.
a new HOA.
Correct.
With,
And you won't be a
These-
party of the existing one. That's the only part of this that's being the additional piece. Outside of that, the conditions are the conditions.
And the condition leaves it open. You don't have
Yes.
to decide today. You
Right.
can talk with
Right.
the existing HOA about what y'all want to agree to. So the condition is stated, it
Well,
leaves it open.
did the existing HOA, I'm back on the square footage of the houses now.
Well, but again.
I don't know where that came from.
Right. Staff has made the recommendations, and it says 25 to 29 is what staff has recommended. That was already done and agreed upon. It's
It
the
was agreed
HOA.
upon by them, not me.
Well,
I
wasn't
didn't
the,
have an opportunity to agree to it.
okay, all right.
Allison, we're going to let you speak and then we'll
Okay.
Quick
wrap this up.
clarification on that. I did speak with Joe Fowler. The conversation that I had with Joe Fowler, and I don't know if he's here to represent the accuracy of it, but he said that he would be willing to exchange 2,500 square foot minimum for not having to do the road improvements that they had objected to yesterday.
Got it.
Planning and zoning said we did not agree to that. So the information was shared in regard to the 70-30 split, and as we had indicated yesterday at the hearing, part of that is because the development team, again, as I was working through Joe Fowler, wanted to do only 2,500 square feet. The HOA had a kind of tiered structure going all the way from 2,500, 2,600, 2,900 and up. So Austin ran the numbers, looked at everything on the ground. We found that about 67% of the existing neighborhood is above 2,900 square feet, and the remainder is somewhere between
Right.
2,500 and 29.
I
So
remember.
that's where we looked at what was built, and that was the number we presented to y'all.
Right.
And that's where that came from.
Okay. So, Mr. Van Zandt, I mean, only thing I was trying to clear was basically the HOA situation.
Right.
And
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity
Okay.
to discuss that with you.
Mhm.
It's really more than I expected, but I thank you for considering it.
Okay.
And, of course, Joe had talked to Mr. Sullivan here.
Yes.
And we, agreeing on, working with him on that issue that, was brought up. So we appreciate that. And I would like to get a little help maybe on that as far as when we write letters to these people, we can add something in there from the Douglas County DOT as requiring this instead of just an individual requiring it because it's a Douglas County requirement. I do need a little bit of help to try to buy this property from this person that, you know, he owns.
I think that all that can be, you guys can
That'll be
work
worked
that
out
all out.
behind
Yeah,
the
you guys can kind of work that all out when that
Okay,
time
I
comes.
mean, we hadn't talked about that before, but
Right.
I think
Yes, sir.
it would come more likely to fruition if the county can help us get whatever they're requesting.
Yes.
So,
Well,
anyway.
but again, that's going to be on you, the developer,
Yes,
as to kind of
that's
how.
up to- That's with, between,
Right.
that's
So
not
that's
a part of this.
That's correct. That's
this,
correct. So
discussion here.
we're just clear now on what my initial conversation stemmed from, which was the HOA. And if you are part of it, you are. You accept their invitation, their invite. If you don't, then you don't. You'll create your own, and that will be that existence. So that means you won't have any dealings with the current amenity package existing if you don't accept. If you do, then that build out will have, you know, be a part of the existing amenity package. So it's your call.
I'll ask one more question
Okay.
for planning and zoning.
Okay.
Since we really didn't have a real super discussion about it, are you open to any negotiation on the square footage requirements?
No, again, so the recommendation of planning and zoning is the recommendation of planning and zoning. I would not say that it's not that we're not open to negotiation. I think what we have said consistently is that we do not feel that it is prudent to just make up numbers.
Right.
And so that's why, if you're asking for our recommendation, it needs to be something that we can point to why we are, recommending that, and we can justify it. This was the conversation that I had had with both Joe Fowler and with the HOA representatives. We do recognize that the neighborhood started around the time of the Great Recession, and it's gone dormant. And had it not had that, period of dormancy where we saw a lot of projects kind of stop and start, that this may not even be a conversation we'd be having today. But we are trying to do our best to balance the recognition that these new phases are called Hampton Mill, right? They are talking about joining one homeowners association, so we're doing our best to kind of treat them as if it was one neighborhood coming together, not separated by a decade or more in time. So that is our intent, and that is why we stand by our recommendation as presented, with the additional fifth condition, if you will allow me, that would read, if approved by both the existing Hampton Mill Homeowners Association and the development team for Unit 2, Phase 1B and 2, there will be one homeowners association for all phases that is part of the current homeowners association. And so we are requesting those 5 conditions of approval.
Right. And legal has nodded on that.
I concede I lost.
No, there's not a lose.
I
There's
lost
not,
what I want.
it's not a lose or a
but-
win.
and
Okay.
It's going to make it more difficult to do what we want to do,
Understood.
but if you vote yes, we accept.
Thank you.
Okay. Hold on. I'm not done. Yeah. So now, Commissioner Raxton, you was going to add that. Okay.
No.
Okay. Thank you. So we're kind of clear as to what that looks like. Legal has actually said, okay, that's a decent wording to kind of get us through this, and we'll kind of see what the outcome is when we get to that point. Go
Thank
ahead.
you so much for allowing me to discuss
No,
with you.
you're more than
I know
welcome.
you've gone beyond what you normally do, and it's important to me, and I appreciate that so much.
Thank you for speaking out and speaking up and letting us know kind of where you are. So, thank you for the clarity. Thank you, legal, and Madam Chair, I'll yield back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Vice Chair Alcaraz, you have the floor.
Okay, just after listening to a lot of that, here's what I don't agree with, is if he joins this covenant, and the covenant says 2,500, and most developments that we have developers come in here, build a subdivision, we give them a minimum requirement. We don't go through there and give them percentages and all that of what they have to do, but now we're trying to force him to do percentages. But if he joins that HOA and it's 2,500, he started the development, I'm sure this developer is going to continue the characteristics of what he originally started. But what we're all missing here is back in 2008, it was so much cheaper to build a house than it is today. So for him to build that 2,500 is going to be a lot more expensive than those houses that he built back in 2008. So that's going to escalate that price up even more. And you start getting to 2,900, that's even more. And yes, not everybody has $750,000 to go buy a house. But if he joins that HOA and it's 2,500, I do not agree with us trying to go, what I'm going to call a back around to use our county government powers to make him do what we want him to do. That's not up to them. It's up to him and that HOA. And that's, if he joins that HOA, then they agree upon 2,500, then it should be 2,500. I mean, this is, just to me, this is out of hand. I mean, we've sat there and wasted a lot of time on this, but they agree if they join, these are the stipulations. I just do not agree with us using our county government to try to go around to make them to do something that we perceive that we want. I just don't agree with that. I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much, Vice Chair. Any other comment, Board? If you could, Managing Director Suleman, if you could just speak to the thoroughfare that's going through Plantation at Dorset Shoals, you know, I guess to get to Central Church in this new development. Is this true? I hope not.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, but can you please repeat the question?
There was a proposed thoroughfare. Mr. Furness mentioned his concern earlier about a thoroughfare being utilized for this project. This thoroughfare would go through Plantation at Dorset Shoals. Can you tell me, is that true or is it not true?
Yeah. I believe one of the potential future plats did show that, so we'll just have that pulled up.
Okay.
Is it, that's the first one?
So that's next phase.
I heard Central Church yesterday, but I didn't hear.
It does have the primary access from Central Church, but from memory, I do believe that there's some sort of connection proposed for either of the phases to Dorset Shoals. I don't think we'll be able to see that on the screen. If we can get a bigger plot, we can.
It might show it continues down to Dorset.
Yeah, so as you can see towards the bottom of the page, that's where Dorset Shoals is, and that's where a connection may be proposed. That's why we're trying to create a primary access on Central Church with all the improvements, so that's attractive for all riders to use that as their primary access. And then, of course, they have access. There's nothing physical there that prohibits that.
Right. You can't control it.
What portion of Dorset Shoals? Can you tell me which one of them?
Would we be able to pull it up?
I'm just curious.
It shows.
So that's phase. That's one unit. If you have the other one.
And then we'll move on. We'll move on after this, clerk. I just want this one. Is it any other access point you can utilize without going through another subdivision? Because what you're doing is dumping traffic into a subdivision that's already has about 200,000. I mean, I'm sorry, 200 homes already in there.
Madam Chair, I think because of the threshold of the number of units, they would be required for a secondary access, and just how the schematics of the plat is, it made sense to connect to Dorset Shoals. We can, the other option maybe just off the bat is to not have the second access point or somehow prohibit that, which is typically not what we've done with any of the previous projects. But I guess the goal of maintaining a primary one on Central Church and a secondary one at Dorset Shoals would be the only way to make this work.
Right. Okay. Just a question. If y'all could just kind of look at some logistics a little. Have you thought about the number of houses that's in Plantation of Dorset Shoals, what the impact would be? Because I believe Dorset Shoals now use Coursey Lake as the back entrance, and the front entrance is Dorset Shoals.
Yes, Madam Chair. In the traffic impacts, we do study the existing and the potential growth to assess the impacts. I'd be happy to continue monitoring this and look at it further as it goes through DRC. But as of right now, I just don't have that additional information to provide further.
You'll study it a little more for me. Yes. Okay, that's fair. Okay. All right, any other questions, Board? All right, with that being said, Madam Clerk, you want to just read the first one? Sounds like we're going to move ahead today.
Yes, number 14 was preliminary plat approval for Hampton Mill Unit 2, Phase 2, for a 41-unit, single-family detached development. And this was deferred from our May 5th, 2025 work session.
Okay. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion that we approve item number 14 with staff conditions, the 5 conditions that have been read into from staff recommendation.
Okay, do we have a second? Do we have a second, board? Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? Any discussion, board?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Vice Chair?
I think, I personally would like to give the opportunity to Mr. Van Sant to meet with the HOA to see if they want to agree to be one HOA, and then allow him time to do that, and then maybe come back to us at another meeting. But that's just my opinion. Now you'll back.
So you are proposing we table it? Is that what you're?
We have a motion on the floor.
Okay. Okay, can I rescind my second, Madam County Attorney?
You can, but I think the better approach would be just to allow that motion to get a vote, and if it dies,
Okay.
then we can entertain a new motion.
Okay, sounds good to me. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other discussion, board?
Yes, I just want to get, so just clarification, are we saying that there will be a meeting between the developer and the HOA in regards to item number 5 or condition number 5, and then come back with that condition number 5 back to us? Is that what's being proposed for
No,
deferring this particular item now?
No, that's already, that's a part of it. That discussion will take place. If he's in, he's in. If he's not, he's not.
But I'm saying to Vice Chair's recommendation to table, is that to allow time for the developer and the HOA to come together and meet and determine if item number 5 or condition number 5 was the outcome of that? Is that?
Yes, or all conditions what they agree to. Let that be determined between the HOA and the developer. My opinion still stands on the previous comment I made, that I don't believe that we should be using our authority to change anything in regards to houses of size. I believe that should be done between the developer and the HOA.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Yes, sir.
Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
Okay. Any other questions, board? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes.
I'm sorry? Yes. Is it 2-2?
Motion fails 2-2.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we had one abstention, and we had 2-4. So yes, motion carries.
The motion carries if it's one abstention.
Motion carries 2-1.
2-1.
Okay. Want to read the next one, or are they both?
Number 15.
Number 15 is preliminary plat approval for Hampton Mill Unit 2, Phase 1B, for a 49-unit, single-family detached development, deferred from May 5th, 2025 work session.
Do we have a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve item number 15 for the 49 units with the conditions as provided by staff.
Do we have a second? Second. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion, board? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 2-1 with one abstention.
All right.
Now we have the consent agenda.
Yeah.
So we'll just need a motion to approve the consent agenda as
Okay.
presented.
Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Well, there's no need for discussion. Please prepare to cast your votes on the consent agenda. We have a 4-0 vote and a unanimous vote, and the motion carries. Thank you so much, Board of Commissioners. Certainly, at this point in time, what I would like to do is have those announcements read, if that's okay with you, Madam County Attorney, before I call for
Yes, ma'am.
executive session. Good morning, our Chief Communications Officer, Yvette Jones. We appreciate you providing
Absolutely.
announcements this morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, Board of Commissioners, and County Administration. Pleased to share a few announcements with you this morning. Please join District 1 Commissioner Henry Mitchell III for his next Coffee and Conversation this Saturday. The event will be held on June 7, 2025 from 10 a.m. until noon at the Woody Fight Senior Center. Commissioner Mitchell will team with community partners to discuss the importance of empowering the mind. It promises to be an enlightening conversation. We look forward to seeing you there. And save the date for our Juneteenth Jamboree on Wednesday, June 11, 2025, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in front of the Douglas County Courthouse. The event will feature live music and entertainment, sweet treats, and good eats, compliments of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office Grill Masters. The event is free and open to the public. We look forward to fellowshipping with you then. And advance voting is underway for the June 17th Georgia Public Service Commission special primary election. The Public Service Commission is the state's top utilities regulator. The 5-member board sets the rates for gas, electricity, and telecommunications. 2 of the PSC seats are on the primary ballot. It is a statewide election, so all Georgians who are registered to vote are eligible to participate. Voters can cast their ballots from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. now through June 13th at the following early voting locations. That's right here at the Douglas County Courthouse, Deer Lick Park, and Dog River Library. Saturday voting is available at the Douglas County Courthouse on June 7th. Reminder, voters must go to their assigned polling locations on Election Day. For more information on scheduled elections, precinct wait times, and sample ballots, visit douglascountyga.gov and click on the Board of Elections link at the top of the page. And registration remains open for Alert Douglas, the county's new emergency notification system. This system is designed to send real-time alerts and critical information to your phone, email, or text, helping you stay informed and prepared during emergencies. Please note, even if you previously signed up for Code Red, the former notification system, you must register for Alert Douglas to receive notifications. To register, download the Smart 911 app from your mobile device or visit the county website, douglascountyga.gov, and follow the link at the top of the homepage. If you have questions or need assistance signing up, please contact the Douglas County Emergency Management Agency email at dcema@douglascountyga.gov, or you can call them at 770-949-3007. And the Cobb and Douglas Public Health Department is offering a septic system pump repair program for income-sensitive individuals. Eligible primary homeowners who participate in the project will receive a subsidy paid directly to the service provider to complete their septic tank pumping or for repairs as necessary to connect to the local sewer. For more information about eligibility or other program details, visit cobbanddouglaspublichealth.org. And that completes our announcements for this morning. I yield back to you.
Thank you so much, Communications Director, Chief Communications Director. All right, those wonderful announcements. Board of Commissioners, certainly, do you have any other comments or remarks before I tap into the question of whether we need an executive session? County Attorney, do we need to go in executive session?
Yes, we do have one for litigation, please.
Okay. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to go into executive session? And I know you said litigation, but is it okay to name all?
Sure.
Okay. Do we have a motion to go into executive session for litigation, real estate, cybersecurity, and personnel?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, board? We have a motion and a second. All in favor of going into executive session, please indicate. Oh, you can, no, please cast your electronic votes. We have a 4 unanimous vote to go into executive session, and the motion carries with no opposition. Board, we will, certainly citizens of Douglas County, we will take a slight pause for the calls. Board of Commissioners will leave this room, exit this room, and we will be back momentarily as we engage in executive session. And I truly appreciate your patience this morning. Thank you.